Hi, welcome to another amazing Feldenkrais lesson. Today we're going to be on the back and do an amazing lesson for our shoulders, chest, and ribs. When you're ready, come to lie on the back and just take a moment to lay down and notice how you feel. Notice the space between your legs, your breathing, and anything else you notice that's interesting. And then sweep your arms out to the side so they're directly out from your shoulders. I'm going to demo some of this in sitting, but you're lying on the back. Arms are directly out from the shoulders. In this position, you might check and look at each arm to see if it's directly out from the shoulder, if it's in fact 90 degrees. And then begin to make a movement of just reaching a little bit through the right arm. Lying on your back, reaching through the right arm. It's a very small movement. Just feel what happens as you reach through your right arm and let go of the reaching. Feel what happens in the shoulder on the right behind your back. And as you continue to reach through your right arm, you can have legs long or in standing. Feel what happens on both sides of the back of your chest. Does one side push into the floor more? And now as you reach toward the right arm, start to take your head to the right as you reach. So your head is going to turn to the right as you reach your right arm on the floor and come back. As you reach the right arm, the head turns. As the reaching lets go, the head comes back to center. Notice how you breathe as you do this. Turning with the reaching of the right arm now. And each time you reach the right arm, take the head. And notice if this makes the reaching easier or not. And now instead of turning the head, we're going to side bend it. So you're going to slide the back of your head on the floor so that the right ear comes closer to the right shoulder as you reach the right arm and come back. Each time you reach the right arm, you're sliding the back of your head on the floor and taking the right ear towards your right shoulder, side bending the head to reach the right arm. Noticing if that helps you reach further or not. Do you feel any shortening in your left arm as you do this movement? Notice how this is different from when we were turning the head. Go back to turning the head once and notice the difference in reaching the arm. And then try side bending, taking the right ear to the right shoulder, sliding the back of the head on the floor, and notice the difference. And then pause for just a moment and notice what you sense on your back. And now if you don't already have the legs in standing, go ahead and at least stay on the right leg. And as you reach through your right arm, push through your right leg. So you're pushing through the standing right leg to reach through the right arm on the floor. Your head may go or not. You just notice what the head does, if it wants to turn or tilt or stay still. But you push through the standing right leg to then reach through your right arm. And just noticing if that makes it any easier or more difficult. And then switch legs and now try pressing through the left leg to reach through the right arm, and notice if you go further or if it's any easier or what the difference is. Where can you let go in your body as you do this movement, as you press through the left foot, reach through the right arm? Where could you be softer or more gentle? And pause that and rest for just a moment. Come back to reaching with your right arm with legs longer and standing. So just the first beginning movement of reaching through the arm, and notice if there's any difference than there was in the beginning. And now as you continue to reach through your right arm, allow your right arm to reach by taking the left arm in towards the body. So you're drawing your left shoulder into your body so that your right arm can reach. Instead of reaching just from the right arm is reaching, and you're bringing the left arm in as though you could draw it into the shoulder and allow for more room to go to your right. Play with that for a moment to see if you can shorten the left arm as you slide to your right. Shortening the left arm to slide to the right. And it's as though you're drawing that left shoulder in towards your torso as you straighten through the right fingertips or the right wrist to lengthen your right arm. And just notice what your head does in this position, in this configuration. You want to reach so well through your right arm, the left arm is able to then come in with you. You could also think of it that way. Reaching so well with your right arm that your left arm comes along. And then pause for just a moment and bring your arms down. Take a moment to notice the right shoulder and the right side of the body and its contact, the right arm, the right side of the head and chest. And notice the left side. Now we'll start to bring the arms back to a T again. This time you're going to be reaching through your left. So just start by reaching the left arm. Just reaching the left arm out and back. And you can allow the head to go, but if it does, notice what it's doing. Notice if you're using anything from the other side. And then start to roll your head to the left as you take the left arm. As you take the left arm, you're rolling your head to the left, turning towards that arm. The head rolls on the floor towards your left ear as you reach your left arm. And notice if this makes the movement any easier. Breathing comfortably. And then a couple of times side bend. So as you reach, bring the left ear to the left shoulder, but without keeping the face more than parallel to the ceiling. So you're sliding on the back of your head so the face stays parallel as you reach through the left arm. The left ear is coming towards that left shoulder, and you do that at the same time as the reaching. As you reach, you take the head. As you return, the head returns. Notice any differences on this side. And now go ahead and push through the right arm to reach to the left. So allow the right arm to come in like you did on the other side, and now reach through the left. And just see if you can find that a little bit earlier on this side, that as you reach through the left, you can bring your right arm in to go a little bit further. Almost as though you could draw in the right shoulder and reach through the left arm so far that that right shoulder comes in towards the body. Continue to practice that on the floor for a moment. And now look at the arm. So you're going to turn the head towards the side, to the left, as you're reaching through the left arm, with the right arm also coming along, so the head is now turning to your left. Reaching so well through the left that the right just comes along easily. Turning your head to the right as you do this. I'm sorry, to the left. So you're turning toward the arm that's reaching. But now let's turn toward the right. As the right arm comes in and the left arm goes out, we're gonna look to the right. There, on your back, and you're thinking about looking to the right as you reach the left arm out and allow the right arm to come in. So they're all happening at the same time. And feel what happens in your chest. Turning to the right with the head as you reach with the left arm, bringing the right arm in toward the body. Noticing your breath. Turning towards the shortening arm. And now look again towards that left arm that's lengthening and notice any differences. You're looking now towards the left arm on the floor that's lengthening. The right arm is still coming in, but now you're looking back at that first arm. And then come to pause and take a restorative rest for a moment after having done this on both sides, just to sense and feel what you notice in the body. And notice how your breathing is. And just take a moment to sense and feel your contact. And now come all the way up to a seated position. Once you arrive, have the feet slightly apart so that the soles aren't quite touching, but they're close. And take your hands to your legs and start to slide your hands down your legs, down to the feet and back. I'm just doing this a couple of times. And the next time you slide down, take your head all the way so that the top of your head is pointing directly at the wall in front of you. Once you do that, you're gonna imagine you have a beam of light on the top of your head and you want to circle it. So you're gonna try to circle it on the wall in front of you, which is gonna create an interesting movement in your rib cage, in your chest. And you can try both directions if you want, but just notice if you want to circle the top of the head, you have to move everything else around it. And then come back up and pause for a moment. Stay in this position. Place the hands behind you and see if you can find some comfort here. If not, you can always come up onto fingertips or fists, so whatever works better for you. From this position, we're just going to bend one elbow and look back at that same side and do the same to the other side. So as we bend the corresponding elbow, we're looking back in that same direction, and then we're doing the same on the opposite side. So continue doing that, looking back each time you bend the elbow. Looking to the side that you're bending. And now let's look at the opposite side. So as you bend your right elbow, look towards your left. And as you bend your left elbow, look towards your right. And do that a couple of times, looking at the opposite side of the bending elbow. Pause that for a moment, come off of the hands, and just rest in a seated position. And now go ahead and in this position that we're in with the feet in front, take your left foot and hold it with both hands so you can have both hands on your left foot. We're going to start to lift it into the air and bring it back down. Lifting your left foot into the air and bringing it back down. And now can you do this in a way where you shift your weight to the right sits bone? So you're gonna lift the left foot in a way where you could shift your weight to the right. If it feels like you're gonna fall, then don't worry about it or use one hand. Otherwise, shift the weight to the right sits bone as you lift your left foot. And notice if it's easier to lift when you shift to the right sits bone. And then pause that for a moment and seated. And now once more, lift that left foot, and now we're just gonna take it left and right. And feel how you can have the weight on just your right sits bone. So if you do, you could stop on one side and pause. You could stop opening up on the other side and you could pause there. If you just have your weight on the right, it might be easier to maneuver that foot around to come forward. Notice what's easy, and then pause. And breathe for just a moment before we take hold of our right foot. We'll start with the right foot just by lifting. Just lifting the right foot easily and comfortably. And now shift the weight to the left side of your pelvis as you lift your right foot. So you're shifting to your other side. The left buttock, the left sits bone is now taking the weight as we lift the right foot. And now take that foot and let's take it a little right and left. And just notice if you want to stop at some point and rest in either of the positions, especially as you cross over that other leg if it reaches. If not, that's okay too. You're just taking it side to side. And then coming back and pausing for just a moment. Still having the feet in the same position, we're going to have the hands behind once more. And now imagine that you could have the top of your head have a beam of light toward the ceiling and you want to make a circle up that way. So how would you move your head? And just start to think about how, maybe without looking at me unless you need to, because who knows if I'm doing it right, but just thinking about how would you circle that beam of light? You'd have to figure out how to make a circle somewhere else because the top of the head has to stay exactly there. Noticing if you can make a circle with your whole body or somewhere else in your body. And then when you're ready, pause and just sit for a moment. Let's take the arms out to the side and seated. Reach to your right, reach to your left, and just notice if this is easy and seated. Now this serves a lot of functions in the real world. So I hope you have a wonderful day as you continue to move and find fun and joy in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today.